Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB, or you can call me Chris, and today what are we going to do? We're going to continue on with straight razor shave number 11. I believe this is 11. We are learning, so keep that in mind, and I hope you're enjoying learning with me. I'm going to use the Double Duck Satinedge today, and I have another razor on standby. I'm not 100% sure on this edge, so we'll give it a go. I used it once, and it went okay, but I'm not sure about the edge really, so we'll continue to learn with it. We're also going to be using the APShaveco. This is called the two-bed synthetic. The two meaning it looks like a badger. It looks like a two-band badger, which it does. And the ED part of it, or the ED, extra density part of it. Honestly, I'm not sure about the extra density, because I was looking at some other 24 millimeter knots, Suave, and even the cashmere. And these appear to me to be just as dense as this one, if not more so. So I'm evaluating this brush, and I always want to give honest evaluation. I do like this brush. I love the way it looks. I love the gold flakes there in the handle. And honestly, it works well for me. But the extra density part, I'm not sold on. And a viewer actually mentioned it, and I thought he was talking about the Badger, but he wasn't. He was talking about this. And I tend to agree. I'm not really sold on the extra density part of this particular brush. Now, I still like it, so I want to be clear about that. Again, this was sent to me by APShaveco when I ordered some knots and some other brushes to evaluate. So everything else other than the extra density part, I'm okay with it, but I'm not really getting extra density out of this knot. So just to be honest. So let's go ahead and wet it. And well, let's talk about the cream we're using. We're using the Noxema Protective Shave Cocoa Butter Conditioning Cream, which is quite affordable. This is $7.99 at Italian Barber for 5.07 ounces or 150 milliliters. That's $1.57 per ounce, which is absolutely phenomenal. I don't know how this is going to go. The scent to me is not remarkable. It's kind of a medicinal, almost reminds me of witch hazel sometimes when I'm just smelling plain witch hazel, sort of medicinal. So the scent to me is not remarkable. We have it in our Captain's Choice bowl, which I really like. And we're going to begin just loading our brush here, making a lather. And I want to talk about a few things while I'm working the lather here. First thing, a gentleman named Brad saw me struggling with sometimes getting a grip because, you know, there's some slick soaps we're using. And he sent me these cloths that are made by Dr. Matt. If you haven't seen Dr. Matt's videos, he's got a lot of great straight razor shaving videos, honing videos. And I guess his daughter makes these cloths, so you can use them to sort of help you stretch and you won't slip. He sent me 2 of these, so thank you very much, Brad. I will be using these today. Thank you very much. Again, these were made by Dr. Matt's daughter, and if you haven't checked out Dr. Matt, I imagine most everybody that's interested in straight razor shaving has probably checked out Dr. Matt at some time or another. But if not, I'll be linking his channel below. I also wanted to mention, I saw yesterday, So Sharp David made a video. I'm going to add a little more cream because this is a little foamy in my bowl. And he used an old soap that was made for me probably about 6 years ago by, at the time, Synergy, which is now Phoenix Shaving. It was called the Irish Cream. Anyway, he was talking a little bit about me, and he said, you know, when he's active, he's kind of like a cult leader. And I was like, what? And what he meant was, I think what he meant was, you know, I try to get everybody involved. I try to be inclusive of everybody. I try to motivate everybody, mention everybody's channels, and bring everybody in. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. So anyway, he said I was the Charles Manson of wet shaving. I was like, David, what? You know, talk to Rosia, or Rose, I'm going to call her. You can get a better cult leader than that. You know, I want to be a nice cult leader. Actually, I have no interest whatsoever in being a cult leader. I'm just here to have fun, grow the hobby, and I'm joking around with David here. I know he doesn't literally mean, you know, that I want to be. I think he said it better one time when he said when he first started watching me, he thought I was like an evangelical preacher, you know, when I was called the Shaving Evangelist. And so I would rather stick with that one rather than Charles Manson. But anyway, no cults here. I'm just an advocate of wet shaving. I love this. I want to grow it. And if you are doing it positively, then I want you aboard. And if you're doing it negatively, I don't. It's that simple. And there are bad seeds within our community, but they're really few and far between these days, I think. So I just wanted to mention that because I was chuckling. I was like, Charles Manson, how did you get that? Oh, I'm already forgetting my my mister, which I really like. The mister. Applying water on my face. And again, mentioning reason why I like this is because it puts it out in a fine mist and it sort of hangs on your face better. It doesn't run off as much. So that's why I enjoy it. I'm still trying to kill this Razor Rock pre-shave, which it just won't die. These things last forever. Terrific value if you like pre-shaves. Phoenix has them. Italian Barber has them. And really, really nice. Just for me, adds a little bit of slickness. You know, now there are purported other effects that some of the pre-shaves claim that, you know, I really cannot validate, but that's the reason I use them. Just give you a little slickness, you know, if nothing else, which is good for me. I'm down with that. And I want to thank also everyone who's been offering tips. We've got some great tips from a lot of great people. And so I know a lot of you are learning while I'm learning, and I think that's absolutely phenomenal. You're listening to the tips that I'm getting from great people like Frank from Wet Shaving and Stuff, Dave Card, Diamond Dave Card, The Stallion. I mean, Maddie Lindholm. I could name people forever, but in doing so, I'd probably forget a lot of people. So I'm not going to go through the whole exhaustive list. But just know, those of you who are offering tips, I appreciate it not only for me, but for the people who are watching along with me. Frank from Wet Shaving Stuff yesterday called me on Messenger, on Facebook Messenger, and showed me a couple of things like the grip on a razor, which I really appreciate. Folks, I want to mention again, I'm not one of these guys or people who think I know it all. I know certain things, I'm passionate about certain things, but that does not make me an expert on all things, and certainly not straight razor shaving, which is why I am caveating many times. We're learning here. And I hope that you are enjoying the learning with me. Okay, so we've talked enough for the first part anyway. I do have some other points I want to hit on, but let's get to the shaving part, because that's what people come for. I think they come for the talk too, but the shaving part's good too. So Doug Bear, the other day, I was telling him that sometimes I can't see well, you know, when placing the razor. And he said, if you place the razor like that and then sort of rotate it in, you can sort of find your way. And so thank you, Doug. I appreciate that very much. I really do. All these sort of tips are helpful for me. Another tip, Johan from Shave and Butcher, another gent that I like to mention, was talking about, let's see. Very nice. Was talking about rinsing the blade, and essentially he was saying if it doesn't rinse easily, then it's too thick and it needs hydration, or it's too dense, what have you. And so I agree. Boy, this razor sings, doesn't it? You hear that? Actually feels pretty good. Now I will mention that I do have a bump right here. So if we open that up, we're not counting it, because we don't count it when we open up bumps. Stretch that just a little bit. Okay, very nice. Let's move over to the other side here. And I can see a lot better on this side, actually. My eye on the other side is not as good as this one. Let's rinse the blade. Let's see how we're rinsing. The rinsing is coming off fairly good. So I'd say on Johan's sort of tip there. We're okay. We're not great. We still tend to get too much, not enough hydration in our leather. We're working on that. We're working on it. So have no fear. We will continue to work on it. Let's rinse that off before it falls off. Hope everyone is doing well. I must tell you, the weather here has just been, one day it's nice, and then the next day it's absolute crap. Today it's gloomy and just rainy. We've had so much rain, and the temperatures, they should be well up in the 80s, and it's like 50 something today. So not great on the weather front. So a tip I was given on the Adam's apple, and I don't remember who, was if you swallow and hold, the Adam's apple will go in, and then you can sort of work more effectively in that area. And I agree with that. That's a great tip. A lot of great tips. So thank you, Frank, Maddie, David Gonzalez. I know I'm going to miss people. Dave Card, Stallion, Josh from Shooting the Shave. And I'm not going to link everybody's channel because I'd be linking all day long. I will link some of them, but I'm bound to forget some. So if I forget your channel, I apologize. Justin, Red Island Shaver, Rick from Loose Screw Shaving, so many people, Lee, Nomeo Shaves, really encouraging, because I'm going to tell you something, folks. If this were 7 years ago, 7 years ago, let's say 6, there would be it would be full of people commenting, you stink, you should never straight razor shave, blah, 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 blah. The people are just so much nicer and helpful and more helpful. And I've gotten so many great tips that I'd be remiss if I didn't thank people. And this is what the community is about, helping each other, you know. And a lot of people, when they first start watching my videos, they're like, oh, I don't know about that guy. And then they get to know me and they're like, oh, he's not such a, he's not such a bad guy. He's not so full of himself. And I'm really not when you get to know me. But sometimes I guess that comes across. And I'm honestly, especially in areas like this where I'm learning, I'm the most humble guy in the world. I'm humbled here learning from who I consider to be some of the best straight razor shavers in the world. Guy Solis from the Shaving Chrono. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on, because there are so many people that have just offered words of encouragement, and that motivates me. That motivates me to not only continue this, but to mention and promote other people's channels and really try to grow the hobby, because that's better for everybody involved. The more people that we get involved, the better. The more products we can try, and we rise to new heights together. And that's the way I look at it. We're in it together, no barriers. And as long as you're positive and helping other people, we're on the same team. And the minute that you're not, then we're not on the same team, because I just don't have time for negativity and infighting and foolishness. There's just no time for that. And so that is my perspective. But I mean, look at the Chalmers family. Chalmers family. Everyone's involved. From Abby, Sam, Abby, David. David is married to Abby Chalmers. There are 2 boys, Josiah and Elijah. Abby is the shaver chick. I wrote it down. Where is it? Did I write it down? The Shaving Chick. Go subscribe. She only has 90 some subscriptions. Go subscribe to Abby. The ZCShaves is Elijah, their son. John Shaves is David's dad, David being the husband. And then Sammy, Shaver Girl, or the Shave Girl, I can't remember off the top of my head her. But anyway, it's phenomenal. I mean, I don't know, it's the best time ever to be in this community, the way I see it. Just incredibly positive people. There is a whole family involved, down to like Josiah looks to me to be maybe 3-4 years old. You all tell me how old he is. And also, I want to put something else out after I get started here with this pass. One of the things that Frank passed on to me yesterday in terms of a tip is don't put the death grip on the razor like this. Sort of allow your fingers to more nimbly tilt the razor rather than putting a death grip, because then you have to turn your whole wrist. And so, Frank, I hope I'm getting your tip right. We shall put it to use right now and see how it goes. So we're gonna, hold it this way and try to get some better. Oh, now would be a great time to employ the cloth because I'm wet down there on my neck. So let's see how we do. Using a little different hold. There we go. Not bad, feels pretty good. And one of the things that I have been attempting to do, or efforting to do, is to try not to get stuck in difficult places. That is to say, and again, I'm offering this tip being a newbie. If you stop right here at the jawline, right there, it's hard to get started. And one of the things that Frank also mentioned yesterday, if you get in a tough spot, stop, back up, pull it down, and then go back. But if you stop right on your jawline, it's kind of difficult to press on, I find. And so I'm shaving to try to get over that jawline where I can start on a relatively flat place, which I think is helpful. It is for me anyway. Okay, here we go. And I can be moving this towel up as I go. The blade actually, the edge on this is feeling good. It's not as good as the Stallion's in my opinion. I got it off of, that feels really nice actually. I got it off eBay and it was shave ready from a person who restores, There we go. So what I'm going to do there is just come across from that end because it's difficult to get from the heel. So we'll just do a final pass and we'll get that at the end. I'm going to switch hands here. And again, big time thanks for all the people who have been so helpful. And I apologize if this video goes a little long because I'm doing more talking, but I'm really enjoying myself. And I want to thank everybody for getting my cloth. I think Dr. Matt actually wraps it around one of his fingers. So let's see what we can do here. Need a little more lather there, I can tell you that right now. Some of that has dissipated a little bit, so we're just going to bring it down a little bit. Just sort of redo that area just slightly. There's no crime in relathering. Do not be bothered if you have to go back and relather a little bit. There's no harm in that. Just do whatever it takes to achieve that result. And see right there where I stopped on my jawline? I don't like doing that, so I'm going to go a little bit lower and right over it. That's just me. You do whatever you do. Now I need to move my stretch point up. This is one of the things I'm trying to be mindful of, is moving that stretch point up as you go. Here we go. All right. So what I'm going to do now is just sort of come in from the sides a little bit because I just find it easier than trying to get very close with the toe or the heel along the goatee. And that's just me. And just what I prefer to do. I love the spray bottle. I mean, I know it's not particularly traditional, but I just love it. So what I'm doing there is just using a very light touch because all I'm trying to do is just line that up a little bit. That's it. Not really trying to remove any big time growth. And that works just fine. Works just fine for me anyway. Again, you'll find your own technique as you go. And what works best for me may not work best for you, obviously. Okay, so we're going to call that. We will rinse off. We will come back and get into the post. Stay tuned. And we are back with our Lancaster Razor Works black sheep towel, which I absolutely love, as you folks know. Let's set this aside, stand by. And we're following up with our, this is Humphrey's Witch Hazel. Again, bald taupe, never miss an opportunity. Put that Witch Hazel on the dome, put that aftershave on the dome, enjoy it, man. You got all this surface area, enjoy it. That was, I must say, I think that was my most comfortable straight razor shave yet. It felt good. It wasn't quite as awkward as usual. It just felt good overall. So, what did we use today? We used the Noxema Protective Shave Cocoa Butter Cream. Very affordable. It did just fine, honestly. It did everything I wanted it to do. Is it a top rung cream? I don't know, honestly. But it did what it was supposed to do. And so that I can tell you. The scent is not remarkable, but it is very affordable at $7.99 at Italian Barber. We used the Double Duck razor. I set it aside already, got it out of the way. Had a really nice shave with it. APShaveco, this is the 2-bed synthetic signature brush. Again, I like this brush. It feels really, really soft. There's not a lot of scrub to it. It's marketed as extra density. I don't really go along with the extra density part, but I do like the brush. It's working well for me. It is definitely a brush that I would buy, just because, for one, it matches my Double Duck in color, and you know, we're OCD that way. But two, it just feels nice on my face. So for a person who doesn't like scrub, I really like this brush, but I don't find it particularly dense. We're going to finish off today with the Murphy and McNeil Gael Laoch aftershave, just because I wanted to use it. And also, it kind of matched the Double Duck in color, you know. It's a very, very nice. This was a fun shave. I hope everybody enjoyed it as much as I did. I want to thank everybody once again. I can't thank you enough, really. All the supporters, the subscribers, the folks who are watching. And I remind you, if you are not subscribed, please do so below. Give the video a thumbs up. Also, check out the people that I'm linking below. Hit that. Sometimes you have to hit the show more button to see the comments. I'm leaving things down there for you that I find valuable. So I hope you will check those things out. Thanks again for all the support. I can't thank you enough. Thank you, Brad, for the cloths. I really appreciate it, and I will be using these. Until next time, I want to remind you, it's your shave, do it your way, and God bless you all.